product photography and how to not suck at it. We've all been sitting there on the shitter scrolling through Instagram, seeing products that, though they could be cool, we would have no idea by looking at them. Some photos look like they were taken on an iPhone 2. Others look like they took a design straight out of Photoshop, slapped it on a mock-up, and then put it on their website. And the white backdrop can be useful. It's usually used on the website, but when it's on your social media page, it doesn't really convey the whole lifestyle and message that you're trying to send with your brand. And that's where we start tip 1 of 4. Align the brand's photos with the brand's story. If you're an automotive or garage styled brand, you're going to want pictures in a garage. If you're an adventure driven brand, we want to see some awe-inspiring images of someone running up a damn mountain. Because end of day, you aren't just selling apparel, you're selling a lifestyle. People like cool designs, sure, but what they really love is apparel that shows people exactly what they're all about. Today, apparently, I'm all about skull shit. So let's take something simple. This camo hat from Valhalla Wear called the Blackout Camo Trucker Hat. Valhalla Wear is an apparel company for all the rugged patriots out there who like to get their hands dirty and get shit done. A clean white backdrop for this hat probably isn't going to be their best option. And that leads us to tip number 2. Use your local area for a photo shoot. You don't need some sort of fancy set or spend a lot of money. Usually the case is that you can just go right outside and find something that'll work right there for your brand. To show you that, we're going to take this hat, walk right outside, and take some simple photos using just what's in the area outside of this warehouse. Alright, so we're going outside now. Get photos of this guy. This is Jacob. I mean, what's that? We are in Southern California. We are in San Diego. Super pretty, right? Well, we are 30 minutes inland as well in a little place called Miramar, where for the most part it's hot, dusty, just kind of brown all over. But we're gonna make it work. So there's a warehouse right there. Sick motorcycle, thank you. And we're gonna go get some pictures right over there. Okay. So tip 3, aesthetics. Because we all want a nice, pretty Instagram, right? So, came out here, and this is what I'm deeming the magical spot because it's where parking lot meets beautiful outdoors nature. We're gonna choose this little area right here because Valhalla Wear is all about being a rugged American patriot, chopping wood and shit. I mean, this is literally an axe. See that? So, let's get it in some damn wood. All right, I'm gonna place it right here. I'm getting it out of the sun because if you look back there, it's super bright. And what's that gonna do? It's gonna create harsh lighting and a shitty photo. So, if we have it in the shade, you have a nice even lighting. You see how good that looks? It's incredible. You believe in that? You can also use things that you find just lying around, like this piece of wood. My God, is it gorgeous. What you can do with this, you can just throw it right in front, and now, boom, you've got foreground. I mean, what are we talking about here? This is insane. Look at this piece of wood. It's giving me wood just looking at it. Can you imagine this hat on your head? You kidding me? This is a piece of wood. It was just chopped by the guy wearing that Valhalla Wear hat. That's what this brand's all about. Let's get it in the foreground here, okay? Plus foreground, it's cool to have in front of a picture. It just adds something different to the photo. Another thing you want to do, you see how this hat's positioned? Let's open it up, make it look pretty. Who knows, maybe you have a little emblem on the side. I don't know, just make it look good, right? It's your hat, everyone's gonna be seeing it. Might as well have it look good. Also, remember that you don't want to just take photos from eye level. If you're kneeling down, it'll come out good, but you can make it a little more interesting by getting low with it. Get low with it, get that foreground in, or even get high with it. Smoke a little blaze up, right? Another thing to think about is getting creative with your placement. So we got this big oak tree here. It's not oak. What kind of tree is this? We've got this beautiful tree here. It's covered with ants. Let's use it. May as well try to get some photos. I mean, now we got a hat that's just hanging out in this tree, right? It's just chilling there. It's not bothering anybody. But you know what it is doing? It's getting some sick photos of itself, okay? You've got yourself a bird hat that's laying eggs of freaking sales, dude. I mean, dude. It's really just about getting creative, finding new ways to take a photo that's different than just the same old boring photo that you see all over the place. So once you're done taking your photos, now you gotta go and make these things really pop. You gotta put some makeup on that pig. So that leads me to tip 4, post-production. So we're gonna go plug these photos in, see what we can do to make them even prettier. Okay, so you just got done shooting outside, took a bunch of pictures, uploaded them on the computer, and you realize, holy shit, I got a gazillion photos to go through. Luckily, we already went through and did that and found about 5 or so that we like. And it's better to have more options than less, just because you never know what you're really gonna get. You may only use 1 photo out of 100. That's okay. So go through, see what works best for you, which images have the most impact and think will represent your brand and your product best. And then you take those images and you upload them to whichever software you want to use. We're going to use Adobe Lightroom. You don't have to use that. You know, there are a lot of free options out there, but that's what we're working with, so we're going to go ahead and use it. Overall though, the principles stay the same. So what you're going to want to do from there, you're going to just start touching them up. You know, and I'm not going to get too into detail here, because you can find a lot of videos online that will show you in greater detail how to go about touching up your images. But really what you want to focus on is finding the right combination of things like exposure, contrast, clarity, highlights and shadows, things like that. And then make sure you stay consistent throughout your photos, because you really want your photos to be an extension of your brand story, and you want the audience to feel a certain way. So for this hat and brand, which has, you know, that rugged, darker feel to it, that means we're going to be heavier on the dark tones, and then we desaturated a lot of brighter colors like the sky and some of the flowers in the background. Because ultimately, you want to stay focused on the product, and the background is really just secondary. Also, be aware of what's actually in the background, and any of the smaller details like wrinkles, distracting object, or anything that may take the focus away from the product. You're gonna want to adjust those pieces as well. So mess around in it and get comfortable, because ultimately you're gonna want to figure out what works best for your brand and then continue touching it up appropriately going forward. Okay, so there you have it. Those are 4 easy tips you can implement into your product photography today to kind of help with sales, make them look better, and tell your story better. If you do need more personalized help for your brand, send me a message. My email is below, and we can get you on the road to making millions and billions.